In the history of human life, if we make a list of the best inventions, chocolate would come first because it's the only thing everyone wants to eat, whether they are old, children, young, women, or men. And no one can refuse to eat it. When it comes to chocolate, Cadbury's name will be written in golden letters because this chocolate company turned chocolate into a revolution, and today, before children say chocolate, they say dairy milk. But how did all this happen? How did a poor child change the entire world of chocolate? Let's find out in this video. So the story of your favorite Cadbury began with a child named John Cadbury, who was born on the 12th of August 1801 in the city of Birmingham, Britain. Yes, due to a child born more than 200 years ago, today you say, let's have something sweet. Let me tell you, John was born in a society where everyone was associated with a Quaker religion. And the people who adopted this religion had their own beliefs, which were such that they believed in God but did not believe in any temple, mosque, or church. According to them, no religion or wall could come between them and God. This religion was not associated with any church or religious place for anyone. Those people did not associate any religious place with their God. And due to this unique tradition of their religion, they were viewed differently in society at that time. But back then, people were very conservative. In such a situation, anyone who did not accept the church was almost ostracized from society, and this was the reason why neither their children got admission to good schools, nor did they get the opportunity to study at good schools, nor any good job, and they were not even allowed to enlist in the army just because of this. So you can imagine how it was at that time regarding religion and God. What must people have been thinking? Now, in such a situation, these poor people had only one option left, and that was to start their own work. Now, John Cadbury was also stuck in these circumstances. That is why he first received education from his religious school. And after completing his studies, when he didn't receive any assistance from anywhere, he started working at a coffee shop to cover his expenses. Working at the shop, he had saved some money, and he was only 23 years old. And at such a young age, in the year 1824, he opened his own shop. At his shop, John Cadbury used to sell tea along with coffee and chocolate drinks. Let me tell you that Cadbury was an observant child from childhood who used to carefully observe and analyze the things happening around him. So, after working at the shop for a few years, John realized that people were liking chocolate drinks more than tea and coffee at his shop. Observing all these things, they ran their shop for 7 years, and when their business started running well, John stopped selling tea and coffee from his shop in the year 1831 and began focusing more on chocolate drinks. The fragrance of success quickly began to come from this decision. Thus, the demand for chocolate drinks started increasing. Then John added 16 new varieties of chocolate drink to his menu to attract people. His plan was quite successful, and in 15 years his special Cadbury chocolate drink became famous in all the surrounding areas and became famous as people's first chocolate cold drink. Due to his increasing work, John involved his brother Benjamin in the year 1847. Then both brothers thought about expanding their shop and together established a large factory on Bridge Street for the first time. Cadbury has been known for its taste since the beginning. That is why in the year 1854, Queen Victoria of England awarded Cadbury the Royal Warrant Certificate. You should know that the Royal Warrant was given only to those best products whose quality. The quality used to be quite good. Your people liked it a lot, and even kings and queens could use those products. From then on, Cadbury became famous throughout Britain for its taste and excellent quality. But in the year 1860, due to some disagreements in the business between the two brothers, Benjamin decided to separate from John Cadbury. John was also in the final stage of his life, and he handed over the reins of this business to his two sons, Richard and George. If they wanted, they could have stopped there and led a good life. But they still had something big to achieve, and it is essential to keep evolving a product to keep it alive for years. And this is what George and Richard did after Cadbury came. Both brothers were quite successful with all the changes they made in Cadbury over time. And as we mentioned, Cadbury is known for its experiments, so this experiment was also successful among the people of Britain. And then in the year 1870, they started sending their product to other countries around the world. In the meantime, John Cadbury, who laid a strong foundation for Cadbury, passed away on May 11, 1889. Which was a sad thing for Cadbury, and within the next 10 years, Richard, who had established a new place for Cadbury in the world, also passed away, and then the responsibility of running the entire company fell on George Cadbury's shoulders. Now understanding his position and the seriousness of Cadbury, George kept moving forward and during his retirement period made such discoveries for the company that gave Cadbury a different dimension. Friends, in the year 1905, George started the production of today's famous Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate. But let me tell you, the production of dairy milk didn't start overnight. It was George's dream to bring the sweetness of his drink to everyone's lips. For this, he found dairy milk to be the best option. You will be surprised to know that George started research for the chocolate we eat today in the year 1857, and this research, as we have already mentioned, was successful in the year 1905. That means 50 years just for one dairy milk. Actually, along with his dark chocolate, George worry, George was trying to add something new to it, and then he mixed sugar and milk into the chocolate powder. And when these three mixtures were tested, the taste was quite different. And when it was modified and this mixture was dried and tested, the taste was even more amazing. And friends, this is how Cadbury chocolate came to be in front of the world. And today, all Cadbury products in the market are quite distinctive. Friends, today Cadbury is at such heights of success that it is running this business in over 50 countries. And as we mentioned before, whether it's children or the elderly, everyone is crazy about its taste. But you also know that this taste didn't come just like that. It involves 100 years of effort. So friends, this was the complete success